I'm here with Heidi Olson, who's the VP of Engagement and also the what of Digital Services at Town & Country Federal Credit Union?
So VP Member Engagement, Digital Services, and Payments.
And Payments. We're here today talking about a new scam that they're seeing, a scam that you are saying almost looks identical to many of the types of fraud alerts somebody might get on their phone saying, hey, we're detecting fraud on your account. Turns out this is a scam?
Yes.
So tell me about what you noticed and when you started getting notices from your members about these text messages that didn't sound right.
Yeah, we noticed some unusual traffic activity, and so we started reaching out to some of the members that we saw the activity for and determined that they were getting text alerts trying to verify transactions on their account, and they were responding and then being followed up with by some bad actors and fraudsters, obtaining usernames, passwords, and one-time access codes to be able to gain access to their online and digital banking platforms to transfer money and send money out.
They're getting direct access to their accounts.
Yep, they're getting direct access. Members and consumers wouldn't necessarily know that they were being spoofed or scammed because the people they're talking to portray they're coming from their financial institution. They portrayed that they were coming from Town & Country.
Let's show the example. So this is one of those alerts, and I'm going to bring it right up close to the camera. Heidi, you were telling me this first alert is kind of similar to something Town & Country would send to a customer to say, hey, you know what? You might want to check on this transaction.
Absolutely.
But then it's the one below it, the follow-up, where they say, please log into your account.
Yes.
And it's that URL, right? You were mentioning.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a trained eye in order to notice that the URL is not correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What happened when people were clicking on that URL?
It was sending them to a fake site that looked like our digital banking login page. It looks just real. It looks real. You put in your credentials, but it's not real, and it's a way that the fraudsters are able to capture that information in the background.
We're going to get to some tips here in a second. And actually, let's just start with this one. You had mentioned to me that the phone number that these text messages come from is very important.
Yes.
You said that if it's a 10-digit phone number like that, most financial institutions not contacting you that way. What should a person expect to see from a true Town & Country message?
It would be a short code. It's usually 6 digits, 5 to 6 digits. It's what is referred to as a short code. And that's about what you're going to see for that type of communication from your financial institution. They don't use full phone numbers most of the time.
So that's one red flag.
Yeah.
We also talked about sometimes the language a scammer can use, trying to push those buttons of emotion and urgency.
Yeah.
When you hear that, that should be a red flag too?
Absolutely. No one here is in a hurry to help you. We're here for you in your time, and we want to take the time you need to get your assistance. This is not an urgent situation. There should be no urgency to responding to a fraud alert.
If they're making you feel urgent or the situation
something
feel urgent,
is bad is
going
to happen if you don't deal with this right this minute.
Then you should be skeptical.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If they give you any reason to feel like the worst thing in the world is going to happen to you if you don't fix this right this minute, probably ought to hang up and try to call the financial institution.
One of the last tips you were telling me about was two-factor authentication. Most people are used to this by now, setting up some type of biometric, like it used to be thumbprints. Now people can do Face ID on certain phones. But why does two-factor authentication increase a person's security?
Because it gives you the sense of security because they have to have access to that device to be able to get that one-time access code that you need to have that two-factor authentication. They have to know how to get access to that device,
whether the actual phone,
the phone or
computer.
Some places still allow you to get one-time access codes to email address sent to your email, so they have to have access to your email account. So if you're going to lock things down, you got to lock down your email account because so much information is in there. So first thing, set up your two-factor authentication within your email. Set it up with your financial institution. Set it up with your social media accounts. Anything you can. If you can set it up with your utility bills, wherever you can do biometrics or two-factor authentication, get that set up as soon as possible.
And Heidi was telling me the financial institution will never ask you for that two-factor authentication code.
No, absolutely not ever will we ask you for that.
Great tips, Heidi. Thank you. And be on the lookout for these scams. Always good to be skeptical.